Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. Well, the office, I guess. Glad you guys could come chill with me today. We're going to actually try something new. We're going to try a new series once a month. We're going to choose a model, and we're going to find 3 examples of that model for sale, and we're going to go through and show you which one we would choose and which ones we would not choose right after this. Now, the 3 models that I found of Porsche Boxsters today were all found on Facebook Marketplace. There's all kinds of places. There's even Cars and Bids now, an auction site that Doug DeMiro has started. There's Craigslist, there's Bring a Trailer, there's so many different avenues out there. But these that I found today were all on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I'm not specifically looking for a Boxster for myself. I just chose this vehicle to start off the series. I've actually owned one. I had a 2000 Boxster S. It was a really cool car. I really enjoyed it, but it was just a little too small for me. And I sold it off, and I traded it off for the 69 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham that I have that's in pieces in the back of the shop. Actually, it runs again. We'll do a video on that later. We've made some good progress on that. We're going to start with one that's a 2000 Porsche Boxster. It's not an S model. It's just a standard Boxster. It's black with a convertible top like they all have. And if you look at the different pictures, or scan through the pictures here, you can see that it looks like it's in really nice shape. It looks like it could be a potential vehicle to go search for. They're wanting $10,995. That's the asking price. I'm sure they'd be negotiable. This one has 68,000 miles as stated in the ad, and it also is an automatic. Now, whether that's manual versus automatic, we're not getting into that debate. We're just showing vehicles that are for sale. If you look in this picture, you see the headlights. They look like they're nice and clean and clear. They've probably been replaced at some point. So many of these get what's called the runny egg. The bottoms are orange, amber colored, and then the top of the headlights get all faded and yellowed, and they really look like a burned up egg. It looks really bad. But if they're clear and clean, like this one is, it's a good sign that maybe they've maintained it pretty well. One thing I look at in the condition of the vehicle is the wheels. You can tell a lot by the wheels. If they're covered in brake dust, they're scratched, they're dinged up, probably means that the owner didn't care. If they're shiny and clean and very meticulously cleaned, that means that the person took pride in the vehicle, at least for the wheels. And that says a lot for the maintenance history on the vehicle. They've actually maintained the wheels at least. Now, as we look at the pictures and we scan through and look at the miles and everything, it's like, wow, this might be actually a good candidate. This might be a good vehicle. I think I might call the seller. And then you need to move on to the item description or the vehicle description. There's going to be data there. Sometimes there's a lack of data, and that's a red flag as well. That here's a car for sale, here it is. Why aren't you talking about the car? There's probably a reason. But if you read the description, it starts talking about that the vehicle's been heavily modified. It has a turbo on it. And that right there is a huge red flag for me. And they do say in the description that they offer a 90-day warranty, and they brag about that. That really doesn't mean a whole lot. It's probably 10% parts and labor, or 20%. They're not going to do 100% parts and labor. But the thing here is, if you watch my previous video on the 73 Stingray, and again, I'm not knocking the customer. I really enjoy doing work for him. But in that video, it's been heavily modified. And the amount of work it's going to take to get that thing straightened out is thousands and thousands upon more thousands of dollars. Here's the thing with this vehicle. You start having check engine light. It starts having issues. It's not running right. You take it to a mechanic. Especially for me, I would look at this thing and I would see that it's been heavily modified. And then I would park it back outside and I would tell you to come get your vehicle. I'm not interested in working on it. And the reason for that is I highly value the quality of my work. I cannot guarantee the quality of my work when I don't know what the last guy did to it. Where has he been? What has he done? Who knows? Maybe I fix the transmission, something's wrong with the transmission, then the engine starts missing or blows a head gasket, and they'll say, well, you're the last guy that worked on it. This is something, I'm not trying to go off on a tirade here, but you need to keep that in mind. If you were to buy this vehicle, you're stuck with it, and you take it to the mechanic, and the next mechanic, and the next mechanic, and they all say, I'm not interested in working on your vehicle. Or if someone does work on it, it's going to cost 3 times as much to get it fixed, because it's going to really piss off the mechanic. So that's car number 1. Let's move on to Boxster number 2. And here we have a 1999 Boxster. Again, it's not the S model, but the price is $39.50. And even amongst the car clubs that I'm a member of here in the Wichita area, I frequently get emails. Look at this really cheap car I found, Car Wizard. The price is really, really good. So in this ad, this might be appeal to someone who's not looking to spend a large amount of money on a car and they think they might get a good deal. Let's scan through some of the pictures on it, and then we'll talk about the data on it. In this first picture, you kind of notice the hood's not all the way latched. And if you look below the driver's headlight, there's a huge gap in the bumper. Some of the body lines aren't adding up. Something's really odd here. And then if we scroll over to this picture, I'm starting to notice that the passenger side of the car is sitting lower than the driver's side of the car. It's slightly at a lean. I'm starting to question what's going on here. Yeah, the price is really cheap, but why? Why is it so cheap? And in the picture you see in the rear of the car, you can see the trunk lid's not all the way closed. Is it just left open, or what happened here? This one actually has low miles, 51,000 miles. But I think it's low for a reason. I think something happened and it sat for a long time. And it's also a Tiptronic or automatic, which, again, we're not going to debate that, but it is what it is. So we see a lot of weird things in the pictures. We're kind of questioning what happened here. Now we move on to the item description. Rebuilt title. Runs good. That's it. That's it for the data. That right there tells me something is really wrong here. And then you see that it has a rebuilt title, and you start looking at body panels not matching up. That means it was horribly wrecked. Really badly wrecked. Yeah, the vehicle's cheap. Oh, it'll be a project car. No, it won't. The body's a uniframe. The body is the frame. You're not going to get that straightened out for a couple $100. It very likely may run good because the engine sits in the middle of the car. It didn't get smashed or broken. But seeing all the body panels not lining up and the rebuilt title, that's something you really, really need to think about in this situation. So that's car number 2. Let's move on to the last one, number 3. Okay, so the last one here, if you see in the picture, is also white in color and also in very much better shape. Is a 99 Boxster, just like the last one, a 99 Boxster. They're asking $12,000 for this, and that's a good sign. You say, well, I didn't want to pay that much. Yes, you do. Because you don't want the last one, that's for sure. You're going to pay way more to fix that one than this one cost. So the next thing, if you look in this first picture I see behind it, is it's at a Porsche dealership. And there's some really awesome, nice Porsches behind that. That's a green flag for me. This is a reputable dealership that sells high-end, expensive Porsches. They're not going to ruin their reputation and burn you on some piece of junk pile of crap. Now, obviously, not every dealership can be spoken highly that way, but for the most part, they're not going to want to ruin their reputation. As we scan through the pictures, again, we look at the wheels. The wheels are immaculate. The paint is beautiful. There's no dents or dings, and I looked at all the body lines and the gaps, and they're all even and perfect. In this picture, you see it indoors with the convertible top up. It's a tan-colored convertible top, and you can see that it also looks to be in very good shape. It's not cracked or gyro-rotted or sun-faded. And again, the headlights. It still has the runny egg. It has the older style yellow turn signals or park lights underneath, but they're crystal clear. This car has been taken very good care of. It has 51,000 miles, which means it's been taken care of and it's not been driven till the wheels fall off. If you look at some of Hoovie's videos on Apollo 911, the silver Porsche 911 that he had, I think it was a 99, over 200,000 miles. It is possible, if these cars are taken care of, to go that far, and it's been proven by that car. All 3 of these have the automatic transmission, and I didn't do that on purpose. I just picked 3 cars. Some people prefer the Tiptronic, but it's really up to you, your preference. Now if we read the description, it's presented very well. There's lots of information there. They talk about the miles, the interior's in good shape, the tires only have 5,000 miles on them, and it just had the annual service performed by the dealership that you've seen in the background. Very likely this owner's been having this vehicle serviced by the Porsche dealership that you see in the background frequently. Another green flag. That is excellent. So the description, you can tell, is handwritten. They didn't copy and paste the information off of a Porsche website. They hand wrote it out because they're interested in giving you the information that you need to know on that car specifically. So there's the 3 candidates that I proposed to you guys. Now it's time to eliminate it down to the one that we're going to buy, that I would buy if I was in the market for one of these. And the first one we can eliminate right away is the white 99 Porsche with the rebuilt title that's got body lines not matching up. There's gaps all over the place. The whole body is leaning. The suspension is leaning. You say, but Car Wizard, the price is cheap. No, it's not. Not when you get done with it, it won't be. So stay away from a car like that. That's immediately elimination for me. Typically, you'll find those for sale as mechanic special or project vehicles. This one, they're trying to pass it off as a running and driving car that you can come by and just drive it. You won't be happy with it when it doesn't steer right, something's not right with the body, the alignment guys have issues, you won't be happy. So out of these 2, we need to eliminate one more. And the one that I would eliminate is the black 2000 Porsche Boxster. It is a year newer, it looks to be in better shape, but the huge red flag for me is the heavy modifications, the turbocharger. That may sound fun, and wow, I bet that thing flies, I bet it's fast. And it will be fun until it breaks, and nobody wants to work on it. And when you do find that guy that's going to work on it, you better get your pocketbook out. It's going to cost more than a typical Boxster. A normal Boxster is going to be a lot to work on. This one that I'm eliminating is probably going to be double or triple a Boxster price to work on. And like I said in the 73 Stingray video that I did, you could get stuck with something in that a car of that nature and you'll be very unhappy. Here's the crazy thing about the black one that I'm eliminating, the 2000 Porsche Boxster. They want 11 grand for it. For another grand or 2, you can have the one that I would buy. This one looks the part. It is immaculate. It's been serviced by a dealership. It's being presented at a dealership. You can go to that dealership and look up the service records and verify page by page everything that's been done to that car. It looks very clean. The owner has presented that it has been taken care of, and the description also reflects that. Personally, I look at this car and I say, wow, it is in really good shape. I could see myself in that car happy. And to close out, there's one, like I said, I wouldn't mention a whole lot of inherent problems with any particular model. But these models of cars, one thing to look out for, no matter which one you buy, is the IMS bearing and the rear main seal. Those are things that need to be looked at. You have your mechanic check them out. There's things that you can do to watch out. That's something to ask. Has this been done? Has it been repaired? These are the things that when you finally select that one, just like we did here on the 99 white Porsche Boxster, is that now it's time to make an appointment. Go look at the car, ask those questions, look at the service records, bring a mirror, bring a flashlight, bring a mechanic friend. Now it's time to look the car over. Has the IMS bearing been repaired or replaced? And the rear main seal. If not, take an oil sample. You need to start checking for metal flakes in the oil. You may get stuck with doing that job, and it's really not that huge of a deal. Preventively getting it replaced, then you can enjoy the vehicle, and someday when you sell it again, you can say, yes, the IMS bearing has been replaced. You don't want to purchase online and then go pick up the car, because you could really get burned by doing that. Euroasian Bob has been burned. Hoovy from Hoovy's Garage has been burned. I've been burned by that. It happens over and over again. There's always a reason why a car is for sale. You need to find out what is that reason. Is it because the owner just wants to sell it in order to purchase another vehicle? Or is the owner trying to run away from the car because something is drastically wrong? That's something else you'll have to discover as well by speaking with the owner. So like I said, we're going to be doing these once a month, and hopefully it'll help you guys in your search for a car, your dream car, and things to look out for. Make sure to check the links below. There's all kinds of really cool links, kind of tools I use, things of that nature. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, go ahead and do that now. We've got many, many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.